Hi friends, welcome to Weekend Getaways with House Fun Floof. My name is Sarah and this week I'll be taking you guys to Carlsbad Caverns National Park.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are camping. Where are we? In New Mexico! New Mexico! Woo!
In this series, I'm going to be talking to you guys all about my favorite destinations here in the US that I think make for the perfect weekend getaway. If you guys are like me and my family, you probably don't travel full time and you have a very small amount of vacation time to work with. So I figure why not take the footage that I already have from all these awesome places that we've visited and turn them into little manageable trip itineraries for weekends for you guys to travel there either with your partner or with your family. So like I said at the beginning of this video, this week we are going to Carlsbad Caverns National Park, possibly pronounced Carlsbad Caverns. Carlsbad Caverns National Park actually makes for the perfect weekend getaway. While it's definitely more off the beaten path, this is the perfect destination for a little road trip. In today's video, I am showing you some highlights of our time at Carlsbad Caverns, including some things we learned along the way. And if you're a fan of caves in general, you're gonna wanna stick around until the end of this video because I have a little hidden gem to share with you. There is a cave system that you can explore for free about 20 minutes outside of Carlsbad Caverns National Park, and you can even camp there. Trust me, you guys aren't gonna wanna miss this. Carlsbad Caverns National Park is located in the southeastern corner of New Mexico. There are more than 119 caves, but only a handful of them are accessible to the public. And while you can hike in this park as well, we wanted to check out the caves. Unlike many other national parks, Carlsbad Caverns does have set opening hours, and the tour into the caves starts at the visitor center. Now I'm going to be sharing our itinerary from when we visited back in 2019. So please be aware that since the pandemic, they have made some updates, which I'm going to share with you guys. The park is requiring all visitors to make reservations beforehand, meaning you need to have a reservation before you get to the visitor center. You cannot make them there. The other main change is that you do have to wear masks, face coverings within the caverns. So once you have your tickets and you've checked out the visitor center, you can choose to either take the elevators down into the cave or walk down through the natural entrance. It's a 1.25 mile hike into the cave and about a 750-foot elevation drop. Trust me, it's steep. While it is paved, they do not allow strollers or wheelchairs to go down this way. You would have to take the elevator. We decided the easiest thing for our family would be to walk down into the cave, really see that natural entrance, and then take the elevator back up. As we made our way to the opening to go down into the cave, I had to think about the crazy story of how the caves were discovered. Apparently, a teenage boy named Jim White discovered the caverns while he was riding through the Chihuahuan desert in search of stray cattle. He saw a cloud of bats rising from the hills and went to see where they were coming from. He later described the event by saying, "I found myself gazing into the biggest and blackest hole I had ever seen, out of which the bats literally seemed to boil." So once you get inside the caves, it is dark. So I apologize in advance if this isn't the best footage. I'll insert some photos as well. This is the big room, which is possibly the most famous of the caves. It is 8.2 acres and the largest accessible cave chamber in North America. That's as big as 14 football fields. Next, we entered the Hall of Giants, aptly named because it contains a huge white stalagmite. This portion of the cave has its own 4-hour ranger-led tour where you can climb ladders, crawl through tight passageways, and even do some free climbing. This is a historic wire ladder from 1924, which was used for the lower cave exploration at the park. It really is so hard to capture on picture and video just how dark it is in the caverns, but this park was amazing. While you could totally visit this park with just a few hours to spare, one of the coolest things about this national park is that the tickets are valid for 3 days. Like I mentioned, we opted to take the elevator back up into the visitor center. Definitely faster than hiking. Depending on where you're staying during your visit to Carlsbad, you could easily make the 30-minute drive down to Guadalupe Mountain National Park. Now, I won't spend too much time going over what to do here, as this may end up being its own separate video, but there are plenty of beautiful hikes and an amazing visitor center. We actually took advantage of their Junior Ranger program for our 2 little ones, while the other members in our party hiked the tallest peak in Texas, which is in Guadalupe Mountains National Park. But if you're here for the caves, which you might be since this is a video about Carlsbad Caverns, there is a little hidden gem that I want to share with you. About 20 minutes outside of Carlsbad Caverns National Park, there is a dispersed campground on public land called Parks Ranch Campground. We opted to camp during our stay in the Carlsbad area, and while doing some research, I found a fantastic free camping site on BLM land that had a nice perk, a whole cave system to explore. It's called Parks Ranch Cave Systems, and if you look at the map and see how close it is to the national park, I suppose it makes sense why there might be more caves to explore in the area. Once you get to the dispersed camping site, you'll see a fenced-in area with a sign saying Parks Ranch Cave System, as well as a warning. Now, before I show us going into the cave, I have to put a disclaimer on here and say, do your research before going into any cave that you might see. We were able to find a map of the cave system online, as well as read all the warnings that were there, and we made sure that someone knew where we are. We made sure that we had more than one dependable source of light. Make sure that you have the proper supplies and safety gear. The Parks Ranch Cave System has a 4.3 mile long gypsum cave with at least 18 different entrances. I will admit that the thought of going into a cave without a guide was slightly terrifying, but fascination and curiosity took over. The first thing we noticed was how warm and humid it was inside.
So warm in here.
With this cave being much smaller than the caves at the national park, it was much warmer inside. We went from freezing wind and 40-degree temps outside to a nice warm, probably 70 degrees in the cave. As you'll see, there are several spots inside that are quite narrow and many areas where we had to duck.
In a cave! In a cave! Which is so cool.
So
We're
cool.
standing on a big rock.
Hi.
And I found a rock.
We went in and out of the cave several times during our stay here at the campground, and I just thought it was such a cool find. The kids absolutely loved it. So the rest of the time that we had, we spent kind of exploring the caves, camping, enjoying the solitude.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving!
But overall, we loved this boondocking spot for its proximity to both national parks, as well as the large open area. While the spots aren't marked per se, you will see several fire rings that you can use. We enjoyed our late night fires to keep us warm and enjoy the fantastic night skies. That concludes my video about Carlsbad Caverns, guys. I hope I inspired some of you to make the trek down to New Mexico to explore this awesome and totally unique national park experience. If you guys like camping, whether it be in an RV or tent camping, definitely check out Parks Ranch. I will include a link below from where I found all the information about this park. It was on campendium.com. If you guys have watched any of my boondocking videos in the past, you will know that this is my go-to site to find all of our boondocking spots. If you like this video, please be sure to hit subscribe and push that like button, as it really helps support my channel. If you've been to Carlsbad Caverns National Park, let me know in the comments below what your favorite part was. I honestly think mine was the Hall of Giants. Just so cool to see. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.